Καλημέρα. Μάλλον είναι καλησπέρα, γιατί είμαι σίγουρη ότι είναι μετά τις 12:30 το μεσημέρι. Είχα πει ότι θα μπω στο chat, στο ίντερνετ, ακριβώς μετά που μίλησα στα αγγλικά, αλλά δυστυχώς ήταν η κόρη μου στο νοσοκομείο και το κεφάλι μου ήταν γεμάτο με ό,τι γινότανε. Δόξα τω Θεώ, ήταν μόνο για να δούνε ακριβώς πόσο πιο δυνατός γίνεται ο λύκος, η αρρώστια, την οποία την έχω εγώ, την έχει η κόρη μου, την είχε η ξαδέρφη μου η Ρένα και τώρα την έχει και η ξαδέρφη μου η Στελίτσα. Αλλά αυτό δεν είναι πώς το λένε, hereditary, δεν είναι hereditary. Συγγνώμη, έχω παρακολουθήσει ότι επειδή μιλάω πάρα πολύ αγγλικά πια και επειδή έχω αυτό το πρόβλημα στο κεφάλι, όχι μόνο τις μπούκλες που έχουν μπει στα σύρματάκια μέσα και έχουν γυρίσει γύρω-γύρω στο μυαλό μου, μιλάω και για το μυαλό μου με το πρόβλημα που έχω και δυστυχώς δεν πάει τόσο καλά, έχει χειροτερέψει και γι' αυτό πρέπει να αρχίσω νούμερο 1 να μιλάω εδώ πιο πολύ, προπαντός να με βλέπουν τα ξαδέρφια μου και οι αγαπημένοι μου φίλοι, αλλά και πρώτα ο Θεός, από σήμερα, δόξα τω Θεώ, αρχίζω το βιβλίο μου, το οποίο θα είναι στα αγγλικά και θα είναι η ζωή μου από μικρή ως και τώρα, μετά που φύγαμε από την Ελλάδα και εδώ, αλλά θα κάνω concentrate πιο πολύ στην γιαγιά μου και στον παππού μου και το τι τραβήξανε από το μικρασιάτικη καταστροφή και από την άλλη μεριά την παππού μου και τη γιαγιά μου από τον μπαμπά μου τη μεριά. Και όλα αυτά θα το κάνω όχι γιατί θέλω να φαίνομαι, αυτό το κάνω για εάν έχω κάποτε ένα εγγόνι, επειδή είναι θα είναι μισό Πολωνίδα και Ελληνίδα και επίσης ο μπαμπάς της είναι Ολλανδοαφρικάνος, τουλάχιστον, αλλά πρέπει να το κάνω, τουλάχιστον θα καταλάβει τι λέω, γι' αυτό πρέπει να το κάνω στα αγγλικά. Εξάλλου είναι η πιο εύκολη γλώσσα πια για μένα. Ήρθα εδώ 7 χρονών και είμαστε 51 χρόνια στη Νότιο Αφρική. Στην Αφρική η οποία μας έδωσε καλά και αγαθά, αλλά δεν τα χρειαζόμασταν. Εγώ τώρα μιλάω για τη δικιά μου οικογένεια, του μπαμπά μου και της μαμάς μου, τη Μέρη και του Ηρακλή, γιατί εγώ πιστεύω ότι μάλιστα έζησαν πιο καλά στην Ελλάδα και ζούσαν πιο καλά από εδώ. Όχι να έρθουμε γρήγορα στην Αφρική επειδή ο μπαμπάς μου είχε παράξενες πολιτικές ιδέες και έπρεπε η γιαγιά μου να πάει στον ξάδερφο της θείας μου Χρυσάνθης, η οποία ήταν από την Κρήτη, και όταν λέω ξάδερφο ήταν ο Πατακός, και να ρωτήσει να μην πάρουν ακόμα τον μπαμπά μου εξορία και της είπε σου δίνω τόσο καιρό προτού έρθουμε και τον συλλάβουμε και πρέπει να φύγει. Δυστυχώς από του παπά μου τη μεριά θυμάμαι ότι η θεία μου η Δημητρούλα, η ξαδέλφη του παπά μου, πρώτη ξαδέλφη, πήγε εξορία. Αλλά και η μητέρα μου ήθελε να έρθει εδώ και να είναι με τον αδελφό της. Γιατί η αλήθεια είναι ότι όλοι μας λατρεύαμε, αλλά ακόμη λατρεύουμε το Θείο Ευάγγελο, τον αδελφό της μητέρας μου. So, ήθελα να σας πω, I'm sorry I'm speaking in Greek, but I did my English one another day. I'm just answering someone who's here watching me. Lots of love, Lynn. Ναι, λοιπόν η μαμά μου παρακαλούσε τον θείο μου να έρθουν στην Αφρική για να μην πάει ο μπαμπάς μου φυλακή. Συγγνώμη που έκανε έτσι το πρόσωπό μου, αλλά τον τελευταίο καιρό, μετά που έφυγε η μητέρα μου, έχω μέσα μου θυμό με την οικογένειά μου, με τον πατέρα μου και τη μητέρα μου, παρόλο που κλαίω και μου λείπουν και λοιπά και λοιπά. Αλλά δεν έπρεπε να μας φέρουν εδώ. Εξάλλου φύγαμε το 70 και το 74 άλλαξε η κυβέρνηση της Ελλάδος, άρα ο μπαμπάς μου θα έβγαινε. Πάντως, επειδή έχω ακούσει διάφορες ιστορίες το γιατί ήρθαμε στη Νότιο Αφρική από διάφορα μέρη της οικογένειάς μου, τώρα που πέθανε η μαμά μου, δυστυχώς όλα τα γράμματα που έγραψε εκείνη και ο πατέρας μου στο Θείο μου Ευάγγελο τα έχει η αδερφή μου η Σύση, μαζί με τα μετάλλια από τους αγώνες, τα μετάλλια για το μπάσκετ που είχε και όλα αυτά, τα πήρε η αδερφή μου η Σύση, και η αδερφή μου η Σύση είναι παράξενη. Είναι ούτε ζητάω ούτε τίποτα. Ελπίζω ότι μπορεί το γόνι μου να ρωτήσει. Πάντως η κόρη μου δεν ρωτάει γι' αυτά, διότι αυτή τη στιγμή μιλάμε βεβαίως με την αδελφή μου. Πώς να μην μιλάω εγώ στην αδελφή μου, αλλά έχει πολλά προβλήματα στο κεφάλι της η αδελφή μου. Και τα δύο πιο μεγάλα προβλήματα λέγονται Νίκος και Μιχάλης. Είναι οι δυο της γη. Δεν μπορώ να πω πάρα πολλά, γιατί δεν θέλω να λέω τέτοια σε τόσο μεγάλο φόρουμ όπως είναι το Facebook. Το μόνο που θα πω είναι ότι η αδερφή μου, γεννημένη το 1958, ακόμη δουλεύει, και όχι μόνο αυτό, και σπούδασε και ξανασπούδασε και δουλεύει από τις 4 η ώρα το πρωί, γιατί γράφει και στο σπίτι, ως αργά όταν πρέπει να τελώσουν τα συμβούλια της κυβέρνησης και αυτά που κάνουν εδώ οι χαζομαύροι. Με συγχωρείτε. Έπρεπε αυτό να το πω. Συγγνώμη. Αλλά ήρθε ο καιρός που πρέπει να λέμε τα μίλα και πώς λέγεται το άλλο, και τα κηδόνια. Λάθος είναι, αλλά τέλος πάντων. Και η αδερφή μου είναι αυτή που δουλεύει πιο σκληρά από τα παιδιά της και θα γίνει τώρα 64 χρονών. Νόμιζα ότι θα μπορούσε η αδερφούλα μου επειδή και αυτή έχει λύκο, ξέχασα να βάλω και αυτή, και τη μικρούλα μου αδερφή, η οποία πέθανε από ανορεξία, αλλά είχε και ρενό και λύκο, και αυτές έχουν λύκο. Δηλαδή η αδερφή μου, το τι τραβάει με αυτή τη δουλειά, αν μπορούσα να ανοίξω το στόμα μου να σας πω ελληνικά τουλάχιστον τι γίνεται εδώ μέσα στην κυβέρνηση της Νοτιού Αφρικής, δεν θα πιστεύατε, και δυστυχώς θα αρχίσατε όλοι να μην πιστεύετε σε ό,τι λένε οι μαύροι. So let me a little bit speak in Greece. Let me speak a bit in Greece. Oh my God, I haven't left Springs. So, you know, my grammar and everything is becoming more and more like I'm talking like a Springs person. Anyway, let me speak a bit in English. Λοιπόν, so that is why I'm on here today, just to tell you news from South Africa and also about some news of what's happening with us. It is also a video that will send love to my cousins on Facebook, because I do not go on Facebook a lot. Excuse me, I have to put my ashtray in my ashtray. I do not go on Facebook a lot because I'm sure you all know my hands cannot be used anymore for writing, nor have I walked for nearly 12 years already. So basically my husband says, "Oi, vey," he says to me, "The only thing that's left working is your mouth. Couldn't the lupus start first in your mouth?" Ha 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 ha. No, you're gonna have this old lady on your back moaning continuously. Nah, I don't moan all the time. I'm also a funny person. I mean, I'm going to be 60 years old this week. Who the hell will still put a balaclava on over the head and just put my hand gently around the TV room door so that my husband can jump off the couch because he got a fright? I also wear caftans a lot, considering I never get out my house, never leave my house. Due to I have terrible pain, very terrible pain. But I'm still here, you know, still the same one, same old, cuckoo, but I'm okay. Okay, now I forgot what I was saying, and thereby showing you what the problem with the chemotherapy burning the front part of my brain, how it has affected me. Anyway, I mean, I'm up for still doing practical and pranks, practical jokes, and sometimes, not always, my husband says, like, you're 60 this year, or you're not going to grow up. No. And if I was in a nursing home for old people, I would make them get up from their beds and walk. Purely by, if they want to come and listen to me and have a laugh, then they'll have to get up. But I don't think they want me. They don't want me. Another thing is, I don't know how many of you know, is that I had COVID and I was basically, my doctor said to my family, apparently, I remember nothing, that they'd rather treat me at home because so many hundreds were dying a day at the local hospitals in Springs. So they brought me here. I have lost the whole of last year, June and July. But God, in His wisdom, thank you, God, He did make me better, and He performed a third big miracle in my life. So I've escaped death 3 times since I was 30 with all my illness. But I wonder sometimes, I know God loves me because I love God. He's the only thing that can save us in whatever is happening. But sometimes a little bit I wonder if St. Peter at the gate has got a note next to his book that says, Paris is too loud. Agape acts too much. Talks too much. Don't allow her in until we can quieten her down a bit. So that means I've got a lot of time to quieten myself down. So, notice the cigarette doesn't leave my hand. And you know what's funny? When I was a prefect at school, I was such a goody-goody that I used to go and run after the people that were smoking. Oh, and I was a bully prefect. And I became a bully, people, because when I arrived in South Africa, I went to a school called Sako Primary, and I love that school to this day. My child also went to that school. However, I did suffer a lot from standard 1 till standard 5 with people saying things like, you jump a jet, you gullah piggy, you can kickstart a jumbo. And after I finished all my other studies, I started, whilst I was working at the hospitals, because I've had a lot of careers. I was counseling people in the rheumatology clinics and at all major hospitals, government and private. I could even do private visits, but I only worked at the hospital. Very rarely did I see people in my house, or I didn't allow them at my office. I had one office at Wits, and I had an office at at the pharmaceutical firm, which now made the vaccines which don't work. Just saying out there, and we all know who owns that place. He's called Pedo Bill Gates. That's who I was working for. They given me the grant to do all my studies and everything, and to counsel. And that's why I studied psychology. And the first thing I did when I finished is I went back to Girls High. And I wasn't bullied at Girls High, I must admit. My younger sister was bullied very much about being chubby, and unfortunately she developed anorexia because of the bullying and died. I will also not mention the teachers involved because they are both dead now. So that was one of the things why I went into psychology. Needless to say, I've not registered anymore, obviously through the cancer, and I'm not allowed to diagnose, though remember that when I see you and you're talking, immediately I diagnose you. But, no, I don't treat you, even though I know what's wrong, okay? I treat you as a beloved friend and or a very welcome visitor in my house. And in my house, I used to sit by the study. However, my daughter is using the study now as a clinic. My daughter's like me. She did a fine arts, an honors at fine arts, and then she's done education, and then just so that she keeps herself busy, because her husband and her love study, she's also done permanent makeup courses and rejuvenation courses, but I'm talking about heavy, degree things. So she took our study over. Well, my study. Actually, mon. Again, it's just gone. It's like I talk and then you can literally see my thoughts flying away, yoo-hoo. Somebody's near me, they think I'm a ghost. Katalawes. You understand? What was I saying? Yes. So I was sitting in the study and I started writing this book that I will be starting today, because I've started it many times, and through my illnesses and other traumatizing situations like the deaths I have experienced. Just imagine something, okay? Just getting told you are dying and having to go to a therapist to teach you to die. That happened to me. I promise you, I'm blessing you, and I'm sending prayers to you that it never happens in your life. Ergo, that's why I've also done psychology. Besides the point. Again, I digress. My daughter says when her friends come to visit, because when I get very tired of sitting or walking up and down, I lie on my bed. And it was always my dream when I was a little girl that when I become famous, I will do like Marie Antoinette and Catherine the Great. I would expect my visitors to visit in my bedchamber, which is what happens now. Okay, I really don't think I'm Marie Antoinette, okay? I'm still the same hippie person. I'm still a hippie as the way you guys knew me from before. Ναι. Επειδή αγαπούσα πολύ την ιστορία και πάντα ήθελα να έρχονται να με βλέπουν οι visitors όταν είμαι στο κρεβάτι, όπως η βασίλισσα Μαρία Αντουανέτα και η βασίλισσα η Κατερίνα η Μέγα. Now, I get confused with if I'm speaking in English and I switch to Greek very quickly. In the past it wasn't difficult. Now it's getting more difficult. So today I'm on here. You're probably all thinking, yeah, we know, you're talking weird things again. You never talk seriously. No, I do talk seriously. In fact, I'm a very serious person, if you can believe that. I just have this weird sense of humor that comes out at the most odd times. So, sorry, I'm going to try sit, a little bit better in the chair. And I don't mind what you see and what you don't see. Yes, I have caftans, there we are. And I call them robe de chambre, which is the French word for a robe for the bedroom or for the house. Yeah. But even clothes, I wear caftans. And by the way, I wore them when I was thin too, not only now that I'm fat. I just love them. I just wish I could have some of Demis Rousseau's ones. but he also got thin. Well, I'm never going to get thin again, so don't worry. Λοιπόν, φοράω κάθε μέρα καφτάνια για μες στο σπίτι, επειδή δεν βγαίνω πολύ, και γι' αυτό όλο με βλέπετε που μπορεί εσείς να νομίζετε ότι είναι πιτζάμες, αλλά δεν είναι πιτζάμες, είναι ρόμπες του σπιτιού. Δεν ξαναλέω τα γαλλικά, γιατί θα νομίζετε όλοι ότι έχω ανεβεί, πώς το λέτε στην Ελλάδα, έχω καβαλήσει το καλάμι. Never thought I think so much for myself. I just want to let you know also about my walking, and I want to tell you about the person's brain's strength. So I haven't walked for 12 years. I actually walked into the operation to see where my cancer was, and straight after the first chemo, it was it was called the Red Devil. I stopped walking because I had to also stop my lupus medication, which helped me walk. That's fine. I'm fine. I can walk a little bit. I do quite a few 3-point turns if I need to turn around. I can't walk further than, around my house. The worst, of course, is not being able to write and not being able to read. I've always been a vociferous reader. I have loved nothing better than lying in bed on a cold day with cocoa and reading a good book. At one stage I was going through, when I first became ill, 16 books a week. Yes, that's what happens to people. You start losing your mind at a stage. So I'm on here, έχω μπει εδώ μέσα για να στείλω την αγάπη μου και τα φιλιά μου στα αγαπημένα μου ξαδερφάκια που μένετε όλοι στην Ελλάδα, στα ανιψάκια και εγγονό ανιψάκια, δεν ξέρω αν είναι αυτή η λέξη, και από της μητέρας μου τη μαμά και το μπαμπά μου τη μεριά, αλλά και αγαπημένους φίλους από την Ελλάδα, πολύ αγαπημένους φίλους και αγαπημένους ανθρώπους που δυστυχώς δεν θα μπορέσω ποτέ να σας δω από κοντά. Unfortunately, I will not be able to go back to Greece. I have now realized that the place where I was born, because I was born in Greece, which is the most beautiful country in the world, and I'm not saying it because I'm Greek, is a place that I will no more be able to visit. They told me I can go on the aeroplane, but I must take a doctor with me. Okay, the last time I checked, I hadn't won the lotto, so, I've got money, but not that kind of money. Maybe I should start working in the government. Then I would be able to take a doctor with me. So, μπήκα να σας πω ότι αν θέλετε να με βλέπετε εδώ στο Facebook όσο μπορείτε, γιατί όσο εγώ μπορώ να καταλαβαίνω και να θυμάμαι, διότι γίνεται χειρότερο το μυαλό μου και αρχίζω και ξεχνάω, και δυστυχώς θα έρθει η μέρα, μπορεί ως το τέλος του χρόνου, μπορεί ως το τέλος του άλλου χρόνου, να μην θυμάμαι ούτε ποια είναι η αγάπη. Σε παρακαλώ, στα ξαδερφάκια μου που λατρεύω, μη με ξεχνάτε. Μπορεί να μην γράφω εγώ πολύ, αλλά κάθε μέρα είσαστε όλοι στις προσευχές μου. Αρχίζω από τον Αντρίκο, τον Άρη μου, τη Στέλλα μου, καλά με τη Στέλλα μιλάμε κάθε μέρα, τη Ματούλα, η Ρένα μας έφυγε, Θεός χωρέσει την Παρούλα δεν μπορώ να τη βρω γιατί δεν σηκώνει τηλέφωνο, αλλά πιστεύω ότι είναι πολύ άρρωστη. Η Σούλα, κάνω προσευχή για τη Σούλα. Και βεβαίως για τον Ακούλη μας από τη Θεσσαλονίκη, την Ελευθερίτσα, το Χριστάκι, και δυστυχώς χάσαμε το Γιωργάκι, το γλυκό μας Γιωργάκι, και χάσαμε και τη σενιόρα μας. Άρα να μπαίνετε να βλέπετε τα βίντεο μου. So, let's go back to English again, because it sometimes hurts me when I talk it only in Greek. And just think one thing, okay? After school, I studied languages and marketing management and PR. So there is a stage in my life when I spoke fluently Greek, English, Afrikaans, French and Spanish, and also I learned Polish when I fell in love with my husband, and in later years I've learned Zulu. So I am what people in Greece call polylogou and glossou. You know, talking a lot of languages also make you cheta a lot, which I do. I never shut my mouth, that's for sure. What I want to tell you, and I'm saying it in English as well, is in this video I will have to also say something very sad, and that is that my brain is getting worse. I am forgetting the fact of all the strokes I've had. Remember, I had 3 strokes. That's all getting together with the chemo problem, and after COVID I'm still, well, it just got worse, everything. And let's not forget that we are long haulers at COVID, especially if you nearly died. But that really doesn't mean I would have the injection. Signomi, sorry, skis, and I could carry on in all other languages too. I will talk about that just after. Let me first tell you what I want to say is, if you know me and you live near me, or you don't live near me, if you're my friend, my family, people that I have met and I have loved in life, if you want to see me and talk to me, please do it rather quickly. I don't exactly know how much more I will be able to remember. Not only each one of you, but also who I am. And I lived through it with my daddy. My daddy was 54 when they gave him a brain injury. He had brain injury, I got cancer. He was dead by 57 and he knew nothing. Only the day he died, in the morning, he came back as my dad, and he hated what he saw in the mirror. And I have not that I have a feeling, and I don't want to frighten any one of you, but in my family we have 6 sense. And my mother told me to the day when everything is going to happen to me. And also she predicted exactly the day she was going to die, and it was true. Let alone that I see angels. I'm not smoking drugs, never done drugs in my life. Even when I studied drama, never did drugs in my life. But my grandfather was born, I can't remember the name. You know, that piece over his face. And he was very into metaphysics, and we all saw things. I had blocked it for a long time. Εγώ έκανα block για πάρα πολύ καιρό να βλέπω τις ψυχές. Αλλά τώρα δεν μπορώ πια. After video, I just can't stop them anymore. I see things, they come to me. Because I used to think I don't want spooks around me, and because I watched a lot of horror movies, I was basically poop scared. I can't stop it now, it just happens. And I also don't get very frightened anymore. The good thing is I tell them straight. Just don't tell me bad news, because I don't want to know anybody hurting in any way. So, ναι, δυστυχώς βλέπω τις ψυχές, βλέπω τους αγγέλους. Είναι προπαντός ένας άγγελος που είναι στο σπίτι μας όλη την ώρα. And you know how scared I used to be? After my little sister died at the age of 28, my mother, as much as she could see, she couldn't see about her child because it was too near to her. So she needed a vessel to open the pathway for the spirit to come through. And there was a lady in Springs called Mrs. Pearson. I'm lying, it was Mrs. Pierce. She was blind, but she still told you who's there. She knew nothing about us, but anyway, she predicted, she saw my sister and Dad spoke to her. And my little sister said to her, can my mother please ask Paris or Agapi to allow her to come through, because every time I tap her she taps me on my shoulder, I say it's a spook. Now a spook is the only word I used it with my little sister. I never use it, I always said ghosts or whatever. So it was definitely my little sister. However, she did listen to me. Shame, man. They come in forms of butterflies. That's another story. I'll tell you again how you know somebody's with you all the time. You say I'm the oracle. Σαν έχω νομίζω τώρα ότι έχω γίνει και πυθία. Λοιπόν, as you can see, I'm still smoking, eh? Oh, you should have seen what happened during COVID. We entered the black market, went underground. Well, we didn't go underground, even though I would have liked to have acted as G.I. Jane. And we found a farmer who farmed tobacco, and my daughter now dried it, and we stripped it, and we got a machine that twists the cigarettes, but an electronic thing, hey? That had everything, like a proper cigarette, except the tar. It was wonderful cigarettes, but too much of a bother to, with my hands that can't work, to strip the tobacco. So that was happened during COVID. So my note to all of you is, if you want to see me, I already have a problem with having more than 2 people talking to me. Even when I talk so much, like I've talked right now, I pass out. When I have more than 2 people talking to me, I completely shut down and can't even speak. I stutter. Nothing comes out of my mouth. So if you want to see me in person, come and see me, or I live in Springs still, or watch the videos I've been putting on here. They're not very, I don't put them often. And of course I will be putting my book as I do each chapter. I don't know yet about chapters, or am I going to do the whole thing, or what am I going to do. I'll put it on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Chubby Greek Auntie, which I am, hi. So you can see me there too. Λοιπόν, τώρα που έφυγαν και οι Άγγλοι, γιατί με βλέπανε πάρα πολλοί Άγγλοι, και έπρεπε να μιλήσω αγγλικά. Θέλω να στείλω την αγάπη μου στον ξάδερφό μου τον Αντρέα, στη Σοφία, στον Άρη, την Τία, στα παιδιά τους, τον Κώστα, τον Λευτέρη, τις οικογένειές τους, τα γλυκά μου ανήψια, στον Αντρίκο μου, τη Σοφία, τη Χαρούλα, το Δημήτρη και τα παιδάκια τους και τις συζύγους τους. Πολλά φιλάκια από τη θεία σας στην Αφρική. Και βεβαίως ο Άρης και η Ντία είναι ο δεύτερος ξαδερφός μου. Απ' την άλλη μεριά έχω τον Άκη μου και το γλυκούλικο το Δημήτρη και τον Κίμων. Σας στέλνω πολλά γλυκά φιλάκια. Αγαπημένοι μου. Έχω και τη Ματούλα μου. Η Ματούλα μου είναι του θείου μου. Συγγνώμη που θα κάνω έτσι. Εδώ πίσω έχω τη φωτογραφία του θείου μου. Πάντα όλη την έχουμε. Του θείου μου η κόρη. Και τα παιδιά της και τα εγγονάκια της. Θέλω να ξέρετε ότι προπαντός, όχι, δηλαδή πάντα σας σκεφτόμασταν με τη μαμά και τον παπά, γιατί σας λατρεύουμε όλους. Δεν θέλω να ξεχάσω τη γλυκιά μου Ελευθερία, Ελευθερίτσα, δεν σε ξεχνάει η αγάπη. Η Ελευθερίτσα είναι η μόνη μου ξαδέλφη που ήρθε στη Νότιο Αφρική να μας δει. Είναι του μπαμπά μου, του αδερφού η κόρη. Έχει παντρευτεί τον Αλέκο και έχει 3 παιδιά. Τον Ανέστη, τον Κώστα και τον Θανάση. Και για το παιδί του Θανάση που είναι μια κούκλα και μοιάζει η αληθινή γαγανέλισσα. Και το Χριστάκι και την οικογένειά του. Την Πελαγία και τα κορίτσια τους και τα παιδιά τους. Δεν ξέρω αν ξέχασα κανέναν από όλους που μπαίνετε εδώ. Θέλω ακόμη μια φορά να ευχαριστήσω τον κύριο Γιώργο, δεν θα πω όνομα, εκείνος ξέρει ποιος είμαι, ο οποίος με βοήθησε με την ιστορία της οικογένειας του μπαμπά μου, την οποία τώρα θα γραφτεί στο βιβλίο. Πήρε πολύ καιρό να αρχίσω το βιβλίο με όλα που είχαν γίνει. Έχω συναντήσει μέσω τους φανταστικούς αυτούς ανθρώπους που με βοηθήσανε για τον μπαμπά μου την οικογένεια. Είμαι in contact, κάνω contact με τον ξάδερφό μου. Κανονικά είναι ο ξάδερφος του μπαμπά μου, της θείας Λέγκος ο γιος. Ο Μίμης ήταν ο Λευτέρης και ο Σάκης. Μιλάω λίγο στο Σάκη, δηλαδή κάθε εβδομάδα του στέλνω SMS, γιατί δεν μπαίνει εδώ, και μιλάω και από του παππού μου τη μεριά με το Λάκη το Γαγανέλη, και επίσης όλους τους Γαγανέλιδες που έχω βρει, που με όλους το ΣΟΧΟ είμαστε ξαδέλφια, τους μιλάω κιόλας και τους στέλνω αγάπη. Έχω πολλούς φίλους που μου σταθήκανε κι ας είναι τόσο μακριά στην Ελλάδα. The time that I was suffering with cancer. Πολύ καλοί άνθρωποι. Τους αγαπώ και αυτούς πολύ. Η ψυχή μου κρατάει μέσα τόσα ονόματα. Προσπαθώ να δίνω τόσα αγάπη όσο μπορώ. Αλλά είμαι τυχερή ότι στη ζωή μου μόνο τελευταία, δηλαδή πέρασα πολλά, αλλά άρχισα τώρα που είμαι 60 χρονών και βλέπω την αλήθεια του κόσμου και με έχουν πονέσει πολύ. Δεν πειράζει, εγώ κάνω προσευχή. You know what, I found with, and I go now to English again, especially for Melanie and Marianne, and somebody else is watching, but I can't see very well. Lots of love to to you guys. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, about COVID, guys. COVID has showed us the true faces of humans. I don't know how much longer they're going to be called humans, because everyone knows that the vaccines you put inside you work on your mRNA. I've done a lot of research. I'm not saying anything else. Just know, if your DNA and RNA changes, one thing only. How come you're still made by God? God made us in His image. Do you all really think that God went and had the COVID vaccine? Come on, guys. Thank the Lord that I managed to avoid it, and my daughter too. And I will not do it. I'd rather die and meet Jesus. At least I know I'm dying as not a robot. Hey, if you just listen to what I'm saying, look at the video on YouTube of the CEO of Pfizer, who is a Greek Jewish guy. Ο CEO της Pfizer είναι Έλληνας, Εβραίος, από τη Θεσσαλονίκη. And he says it straight out. He said the tablets have to have a chip inside because, it will make it easier for them to find the COVID for like years. And we all know that nobody knows what was in the COVID injection, but it has been proven that there was metal as well. I'm not saying you're all going to die, okay? I'm just saying I think the time is now to start praying more. I don't want to go to sad things, but it was very interesting how I met people and that people changed. I try very hard not to change. If the depression hits me, and I've only, in the last few months, I've only wanted to commit suicide once. I will never do it. Ποτέ δεν θα αυτοκτονήσω. Παρόλο που το σκέφτομαι. Because I love my Taryn and my husband and my son-in-law George, who's totally amazing. Είναι πολύ καλό άνθρωπος ο γαμπρός μου. Και τραγούδι και πετάει ελικόπτερα. He flies helicopters, he sings, he plays I don't know how many instruments. I love listening to him on the violin and the viola. I mean the cello. He writes songs, and he's got 3 degrees, and he's busy doing his masters via England now. But most of all is he believes in God, like I believe in Jesus and God, and I will always believe it. And he's an amazing heart in this horrible world, and he's an amazing soul. Sometimes you don't even... I have met people on various groups, and I'm not on a lot of groups on WhatsApp I'm talking about. I do WhatsApps because you see what happens when I change from Greek to English quickly. Because I can send voice messages, you see. Sorry, the phone is ringing, and I will answer it for a minute. Hold on, let me just see who's here. Hello? Hello? Fine, who's speaking? Please, quickly, I'm live on the radio. Who's speaking? Okay, hold on a second. I'll put the phone down. Roman will phone you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Sorry, ή θα σταματούσα ή θα του σήκωνα. Είναι ένας χτίστης που θέλουν τα παιδιά να φτιάξουν κάτι άλλο. γιατί κάναν σπίτι στο πίσω μέρος του κήπου μας, κοντά στην πισίνα. Λοιπόν, ούτε θυμάμαι που ήμουνα, παιδιά. Μόλις κάτι τέτοιο γίνει, my mind starts wandering and the butterflies are flying. However, I'm pleased to announce that I'm getting better with the videos I'm doing. As the oncologist, the rheumatologist, and the people the psychiatrist who checks the workings of my brain, they said I must do things so that I can keep my mind going as much as possible. So I started trying to remember how Taryn had taught me to do video art. I've started very simply. I'm not yet into the big leagues. And I've also going to start being an author soon. Well, I'm starting today. But an author by mouth, okay? However, thank you to the person, and again I will not say your name, who said to me, why don't you do a podcast live or a live show on Facebook since you were on radio for so many years? It's a very good idea. The problem is, κάθε μέρα θα μιλάω, την άλλη μέρα θα λέω το ξανά το ίδιο πράγμα. Because I forget day by day. So one day I'll start, do the show, the next day I would do the same show. Because I forget what I do every now and then. Okay, σας είπα ότι σας αγαπώ όλους, δεν σας ξεχνώ. Έλενα, σ' αγαπώ πολύ, σε ευχαριστώ γιατί και εσύ με την προσευχή σου με έσωσες. Σε ευχαριστώ στους ιερείς που είναι μαζί μου κάθε μέρα. Ευχαριστώ τους φίλους. I love my friends. Thank you to all these beautiful people that are my friends. The people that I've met through my life. Thank you for being part of my life. I think it's time that I now switch off so I can pass out and I'll give everyone peace. And just know, είσαστε όλοι μες στην καρδιά μου, μες στην ψυχή μου, ευχαριστώ. Στα ξαδερφάκια μου, αγόρι, λεβέντες μου τα αγόρια, κούκλες μου στα κορίτσια. Σας αγαπώ. I love you my family. I'm so proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Είμαι πολύ περήφανη που είμαι στην οικογένεια του Γαγανέλη, του Βαρελά, του Καραγιάννη και του Περιβόλα. Γιατί εμείς στη Σμύρνη μας, άλλη μέρα θα μιλήσουμε για τις μάγισσες της Σμύρνης και έχω να σας πω για αυτό το βιβλίο που έγραψε αυτή η γυναίκα, γιατί και εγώ έχω ακούσει πάρα πολλά από τη γιαγιά μου για διάφορα. Δεν λέω τίποτα. I'm leaving it sort of as a preview, a little hors d'oeuvre. I love you. Have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. God bless you all. Ο Θεούλης και η Παναγίτσα μαζί σας. Καλή σας μέρα. Bye bye.